Sorry seems to be the hardest one.
Hey, we're Blue, and you're watching Urban.ro.
What I gotta do to make you love me?
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
How do you like Romania? It's not your first time here, right?
No, we've been here many times.
Yeah, we've been here
about
four
four times now.
I shot a music video here as well, which was cool, for a solo track, and the architecture is amazing, really amazing. The buildings here
In Bucharest, in the old city.
in the old city, yeah.
You performed for The Voice last night. How was that?
Really good, a great show to be a part of. Some great singers, and everyone was fantastic. From the crew to the presenters to the backstage staff. So it was an honour to be there, and an honour to perform our first comeback single, "Hurt Lovers," giving it the European premiere. So it was great.
Do you think that this singing contest help the music industry and the artists, or they just make singers?
Yeah, I think sometimes they do. We do get people who can have a career afterwards. Not all the time, because sometimes, you know, it's just a TV show to some people, and then people just like to vote and just be a part of the voting scheme, but never really support the artist once they've won. But you know, back in the UK, I think we have like One Direction, who didn't even win. A lot of the times, the people who are more successful are the people who don't win. So, but yeah, so it does breed talent. I think it's a great platform for people to showcase themselves and their voices and be themselves, and be themselves as well. So yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity for all.
When you first started off, did you thought about going to a singing competition? Because there were singing competitions back then, like Pop Idol or stuff like that. No.
We started right at the very beginning, just before the TV shows come out. Actually, I remember there was the very first show was Pop Stars, which was a band called Hearsay. We just were in the studio recording our first album, and Hearsay had just won the show. Well, they hadn't been announced that they'd won, and that they were in the same studio as us, recording their songs. So it was right at the very beginning of this whole reality TV stuff that we were out. So
You're releasing a new album next year. It's called Roulette. How was it like working for it? It's been almost 10 years since you released a new album with all new material.
It was really great. It was amazing. You know, it's been a learning curve for us, because we definitely did this album in a different way that we'd never done before, having our own record label. And I think that's because the industry's changed so much. And we called this album Roulette because I think that it depicts the journey that we've been on in the last 2 years making this album, and we've had to take a few risks, and stuck at the table, as they say, and for the analogy of the album, and just kind of, when the chips were down, kind of just stuck at it and kept placing bets.
Do you have more control over your sound and your music right now than you did before, having your own label?
Yeah, I think so. I think you having your own label, you're able to choose who you want to work with. But right from the beginning, we've had the opportunity to write. I mean, we wrote All Rise, our first ever single, and, Your Flybys, Your One Loves, all the anthemic tracks we had an involvement in. So we've been pretty lucky, where we've seen other groups that have been told what to do. But we've always been really independent when it comes to the music, because we want to believe in it. We want the fans to believe it, and that's the most important thing for us.
Some of your biggest hits were produced with Stargate since the very beginning, and did you work with him right now for this record?
We're a duo, actually. There's not just one guy. There's a couple of them.
The team.
There used to be three of them.
I think next album we'd like to go back to Stargate. I mean, they created a lot of our hits for us. Thanks to Stargate, we had some of our biggest hits of our career. This album, we went to the Red One camp, but I think we've all talked. We do miss that Stargate sound. They created very much the blue sound for us, and I think that next album would very much love to work back with them again.
But equally, working with Red One has given us an amazing sound for this album.
Definitely. They've created a different sound.
It's a different sound. But I think that equally, again, the style of songwriting hasn't really changed, because we still have classic kind of blues songs and great melodies, great lyrical content, and I think we've grown as a group in our lyrics and in our vocal range and technique as well. And I think that there's a lot. We're a lot older now, and we're starting to, lose.
A little bit older.
But I think
older.
I think we're very fortunate in our career to work with people like Rev One and Stargate, and these are the biggest producers in the world, and we're very lucky to have had the opportunity to work with them all. So we just hope that you guys like our new album with our new sound, and we're excited to come back out here to Romania again to perform, do a concert.
Would you say that it is the most mature album that you did so far?
Definitely.
I mean, as the boy said, our voices have matured, our sounds matured, and the sound in the business at the moment is also maturing as well. For us, it's all about songs that are going to live on for 5, 10, 15 years. Like now, our songs are still played on the radio. If you come back, Too Close, All Right. So for us, it's all about the longevity of the music, and I think if we're moving with the times and it's working, then we'll be happy with that.
I know that you've worked with Neo and Bruno Mars, and they're kind of
what happened with that? We've been explaining that before. We've all, like me and Simon, worked with Neo individually. I worked with Bruno Mars before we started working on the Blue album, and there was a couple of songs that I thought might work for Blue when I worked with Bruno, but unfortunately on this album they just didn't have a place. But you never know, in the future we might use them more. Hopefully get back in the studio with Neo. We've spoken to Neo, and Neo said he'd be up for writing for us on the next album. It's a shame that we didn't get a chance to take any of his songs or get in the studio with Neo or Bruno on this album. But in the future, we know the guys, and hopefully that will come up maybe on the next album or album after that. You never know.
Was your comeback influenced by the fact that boy bands are ruling the world again?
No, I think it was just coincidence. I think that when we stopped Blue 6 years ago, the music industry was going through a very different stage of music. There was no more kind of boy bands anymore. Boy bands, girl bands were a thing of the past. People didn't want that kind of music anymore. But like everything in life, everything revolves, everything comes back around, and we just so happened to be releasing this album in a time where boy bands are really current again. They're really popular. Programs like X Factor have made the boy band revolution pivotal again, and One Direction, they're just the biggest band in the world right now. So I guess they're making boy bands cool, and they're now very young, and we're a lot older, so we don't call ourselves a boy band anymore. We're too old for that.
How do you keep in touch with your fans online? Do you go
Facebook.
on Facebook and Twitter?
Yeah, official Blue on Facebook. Sign up, put your likes, say what you like, say what you don't like. Help us, help you be much happier.
And Twitter?
Yes, Official Blue on Twitter. So follow us, Facebook Official Blue, Twitter Official Blue, and we're on there quite a lot. So we really like to interact with our fans. So let people know what we're doing. Log on, join us, follow us, like us, and you will very interactive with you guys. So that's what it's all about these day and age. When we came out last time, there was really none of this social media. So this is all like new to us. It's a sign that we are actually older.